I will try to show you how to make latte art. I'm not a good at making latte art myself, but I know definitely works for some experience under some experienced hand. But here's the setup. We only need French press, um, a cup that is safe in the microwave, uh, a cup that have a little bit angular shape such that it will make the latte art works for relatively inexperienced. I think someone can just make latte art out of any cup, but it's easier using this. And if you find it's really hard to pour, there's some pouring like latte art, like some milk filter cup designed for making latte art. This my theory is basically the froth of the milk will be relatively evenly distributed such that it won't be separate to layers, and also it's easier to swirl, and the French press. So we don't need those fancy steamer. We just need a French press. You just what you need to do is just screw off like what you get out of like the French press is basically this with a cap. You can screw off this thing and screw off this little thing too, and then you can take the cap out of the thing. Let me not do that. It's a really long thread. So coffee is ready, and you put it back in, and this will help you aerating the coffee. The milk. And I use mocha pot to make coffee. You can, if you want, you can just make coffee out of French press if you want to. It's just make the grain a little bit fine, a little bit more fine, such that you will have relatively darker color. And of course, you need milk. So most of the time I do is it just takes some experiment. You can take certain like that much milk from me, and for me microwave takes around 104 seconds, or 1 minute 45 seconds. Basically, essentially what you need to do is just the milk temperature should be hot to touch. To make it into quantitative number is 155 Fahrenheit or 68.3 Celsius. Yeah, now the milk is heated up. I don't want to bore you with 100 seconds of nothingness. Pour the milk into the French press. So as you can see, what you need to do is just press it down. You can see the milk is start to get big bubbles. So don't go all the way up and down, because that would only create big bubbles. What you need to do is just underneath the milk and go up and down, such that the they will create small bubbles relatively evenly through the liquid. And as you can see, once the volume is almost doubled, and you can almost feel the viscosity of the liquid has increased, and that's the time you should stop. You don't want to make it too frothy. And the good things about French press is after lifting it, most of the big bubble left on the top of the French press, and you can just pour it right now, but I prefer using this, and you should swirl it a little bit such that you could get relatively even distribution of bubble instead of it start to layer it out. And for me, most of the time I just give a little bit first pour such that it breaks the surface tension. and you tilt the glass, go high up, and then go down, and then finish. And there's your latte art. I'm not very good at it, but that's what I got. But I saw online there's under the experienced hand, you can make pretty good latte art using this method. It's almost the same. It's the same principle, just aerating the milk. So yeah, enjoy. This doesn't cost much, so which is good.